us who are doing other things.
True. And I think it goes back to say that not everyone is meant to further their studies after matric. Some are meant to be business owners, it's not everyone who's called to go to varsity. And I think
I was speaking on my other video that they're actually seniors that are targeting new freebies, like the new babies in the school, and they can promise they can come with greener pastures, clothes, flowers, and what looks like yes. Thank you.
This episode is proudly sponsored by Matric Holdings. Enjoy.
Hi guys, and welcome to Basini Pretty's channel. Today we have Brenda. I'll give you an opportunity to greet you guys, but I wanted to say that don't forget to like, share, subscribe to all our social media platforms, be Facebook and whatsoever. But remember, it's not about me, it's always about you. Right, what you want to do, your interest. So this is what is happening. We'll continue from the last time. I said I'm bringing Brenda and she's here. So over to you.
Hello everyone, my name is Brenda, just as she has introduced me, and today we are going to be talking about something very important, and I believe it's not addressed a lot. So today we're going to be here unpacking it, and I'm not going to say much, so we're going to see everything as the video progresses.
Yeah, and also if you look on our second episode of Talk With Me, she commented and she spoke something about she was tapping more on wise decisions. Yeah. So we are continuing from there. I think Kat will answer or elaborate what you were saying in that comment so that we understand and get you from your own perspective. I think that's fair.
Okay, it's fair. It's very fair. So I have my notes. I'm not going to read, but I'm just going to be looking for as reference. So I really love this topic that Pretty chose because many matriculants are not well informed when it comes to applying for what they want to study once they finish matric, and they don't really have much education or mentors to help them. So I believe that wise decision making when it comes to applying for what you want to study for in the future is very important. But the question now is, how do you acquire those wise decisions, or how do you get to a point where you are like, this is the right decision, you understand? So it goes back to saying we need to be very knowledgeable about what we want to do properly in the future and where we want to go. It needs to start with you, Uri. Where do you want to see yourself? What do you want to study, and where do you want to study it? I think that's the first important thing that we need to actually note.
Yes, and it takes us to our topic for today, which is life after matric. Is it lifestyle or is it books? Is it? So you do have a point there. The knowledge to apply and also devices that we use to apply. Actually, it can be so difficult. Actually, if you don't have knowledge and you're not learned, and most importantly, English. English.
That's a very big barrier, especially for those who are coming from less privileged villages, mostly villages, because I also heard in the previous video you mentioned that when you came here you didn't know English at all.
Yes.
So I think it's very important to know when you are at home, you try to at least find means of knowing the English. When you come this time, that everything becomes easy for you, because in Gauteng, or rather in universities, English is the main language. So language is something that you also have to address personally. You don't have to wait for anybody to say no English. Just find ways. There's YouTube and just find ways that you can educate yourself, because you cannot blame. You cannot say you failed because you didn't know English and you were taught in Tsonga, for example, or Spain. You have to also step up and say, okay, I don't know English, but I'm willing to come to learn to know, so that I can just also adjust and also go forward.
So while you're on that, what if you don't even have the means of cell phone to learn English?
Well, that's a very difficult thing, because I know most of the children from the villages, they don't really have the means, okay? And it's because the villages are not yet developed. They're still developing. Technology hasn't arrived there. But I believe that the government is trying to actually send technology there. But for somebody who does not have the means, I would say that's a gap that needs to be bridged. But I would also suggest to say, don't sit and wait for someone to come and give you technology. I don't think if you ask somebody, let's say next door, they will deny you access. If they deny you, I think try until you get something, because you cannot stop yourself from going forward because you don't have. You cannot wait for you to have in order for you to actually go forward. You need to use what you have. If it means asking somebody next door or somebody quite close to, even in schools, your teachers, I don't think they can deny to help you to access.
I think she has a point.
Yeah.
You also have a point. I think reaching out is the first step to your success, because most of us will bottle things up. I do understand that, okay, there are people that have like the resources and they are not really using them as they're supposed to be. But for someone who doesn't have anything, I think that's best that you reach out to people that you think might know, and that those people, it's actually the immediate people that you talk to on a daily basis. You know, the life science teachers, the physical science teachers, maths teachers, they always look forward to getting higher grades. And when you are getting higher grades, they're at the right position to help you.
Exactly.
But if you don't look for help, help will not find you.
It will not find you. If you don't move, no one is going to come in. Like, help is not coming, literally. You just have to get up and do it yourself, and then help is going to find you along the way.
But you want DIY. Do it
yourself.
Hashtag do it yourself.
Don't wait for someone to come and do it for you, because you're gonna be stuck for a very long time. Like, I think many of our matriculants, previous ones, are still sitting at home because they didn't try, they didn't make the move. And who are they gonna blame? You cannot blame the system, because the system can be rigged, but what are you doing to bypass the system? You cannot blame your family because maybe they didn't care. What are you doing for yourself? You cannot expect someone else to come and help you, whereas you cannot help yourself. So true. It's important to step up.
So what happens to people that get diplomas and high certificate and they really cannot qualify to go to university, and teachers, they really do look down on them, like people with high certificate? How then will that person reach out to the same teacher?
Okay, I think the first important thing is to believe in yourself, whether you make it or not. Whether people believe in you, whether people undermine you. Isn't it, you know what you want? So you have to be a go-getter. You must fight until you get it. So for those who are having higher certificates and diplomas and are not qualifying for certain modules, there's a lot of ways you can actually go about this. Number one is to actually say you upgrade your matric, and then try to get better results. After upgrading, then you can now apply for what you want. And it's very important to plan your life within the means of your ability. What can you do? What can you not do? What do you want to achieve? Don't make unrealistic goals, whereas you know this is what I can achieve. You understand? Go step by step. If you're a high certificate person, just know you must actually choose a course that is within higher certificate, and you must love it, because it's important. If you don't love it, it's not going to work for you. So those with high certificate, they can actually they can actually try to upgrade, and if you upgrade, you will get good marks. We are saying you will get good marks because that's what must happen. You cannot upgrade and not get good marks. Like, the goal, you need to change from point A to point B.
So it takes us to drawing board. What is it that I did right? What is it that I did wrong?
Yes.
And then you rectify that. And guess what? Your math will go up, your physical science will go up. But also note that if you are a high certificate candidate as well, I think it's better for us to address it that in everything that you do, as long as you put your effort and all your strength on it, you are able to prosper. For instance, we can talk about the carpenters. We can talk about people that do ceilings. We can talk about people that do electricity. If you can master that skill of yours, you can have a company
of your own.
And we rely on you.
True.
And we are paying you, us who are doing other things.
True. And I think it goes back to say that not everyone is meant to further their studies after matric. Some are meant to be business owners, it's not everyone who's called to go to varsity. And I think the moment we also understand that, the better. My path, your path, and your path are not the same, you understand? I could be called to go to varsity and have a PhD, yet she could be called to just have a degree, and that's what she wants. Whereas you, on the other hand, you've got a high certificate, now you've got this business mindset, you've got like blessed hands, like the work of your hands is blessed. I mean, why not do a company instead of walking around and saying, I want to go to varsity? Use what you have. You've got a high certificate, others don't have it. Your hands are blessed. You can be able to start a company. Do it. Don't wait for things that may not come to you. Like if you don't qualify for varsity, I think it's better for you to, like she's saying, to say, just do something that you can do with that certificate. Don't walk around and say, no, can I go to varsity, but you don't qualify. It's always important to be realistic when it comes to what you want to achieve and where you want to be in the future.
Yes. Look at how South Africa changed in 3 years. When I got to know this that I'm gonna talk about now. When I was doing my first year, that we have Uber Eats, you use scooter, and then we have Uber rides.
Yes.
The people that started with those things, they actually have 5-10 cars. They're working on the business and they're earning a living. So I think when you sit around and you don't do anything, sometimes it's because you yourself are lazy. And another thing, no amount of money can ever make you a better person. Example, you come from a rich background, you have everything, but yet you have nothing. You don't have qualifications, you have nothing. You don't reach out. So I think that also, it makes me to come to a point of saying, then now you are accepted to university. We have addressed that one. Please sort yourself out with education and high certificate. We don't want to see you sitting around doing nothing. Invest in your skill. It comes back to, okay, now you are at that college, you're at that university. What could be a stumbling block for you within that premises, the school premises? The university, the college? What could be something that stands on your way that as youngsters we run for? Is it books or is it lifestyle?
When you get to varsity or you get to college, I feel like now you are at a point where you're now exploring life to its fullest. You are now in a different environment, different from high school. Because high school, you're always wearing uniform. Teachers are always after you, shouting at you. But now then there's varsity, you get there, you find mature people, like everything is just different. You are moving from a position or an environment where you were dependent on educators to another environment where you're completely independent of any educator. Like lectures, they're not going to follow you around and say, do your homework, study. No, it's completely different. So it comes to a point where we have to be disciplined. Yes, they will teach you, especially if you're attending classes, they will teach you, and then you will get notes, you will be in class. But what happens after class is between you and yourself. You understand? They're not going to get involved unless you travel them. So it goes back to say, in varsity, you have to be disciplined because it's now you against the world. You understand? You have to be disciplined, number one, and you have to understand that the company that you keep has an influence of actually derailing you from your purpose and just causing you to just start acting like, I don't know what to say. So you have to be disciplined and you have to have the right company. Always check who you are befriending, because the moment you have the wrong company, it's completely over with you. And always understand that people that are in university or college, they come from different walks of life. Go higher, you could be poor, and go ahead, you could be rich, and then I got in because of a bursary and I did in Mara. When you did well as a Mara, they can afford to pay for you. So I should not be pressured or feel intimidated by your background. I know where I'm coming from, and I should live according to that. Knowing this is where Brenda comes from, there isn't much money or high, like we're not well off, but I'm working towards a goal. I should not look at Pretty and say, is Pretty has this, maybe I should just try to find a means so that I can be like her. I'm not there to look like Pretty, I'm there to be a better version of myself and my family. Pressure is something that you need to really avoid in varsity because it's going to kill you. Many people get depressed for university because I want to be like this. They get envious. I want to have what Pretty has. And sometimes you don't have those things for a reason. And it's good to always be content with what you have and where you are from. Because if you're not content, number one, you're going to you're going to drop when it comes to your academic performance. Your self-esteem is going to just change. You're just going to change into something that you are not because you feel like you're supposed to have things that you're not supposed to have. You're going to start having the blesser. For what? For temporary materialistic things, whereas you can just focus on your studies and then be the better version of yourself. So it's important not to feel pressurized, to know who you are and what you want and where you want to go. This thing of you saying like a blesser can have money and the Brazilian, Francali, Diaparo. I mean, Diaparo do guy. Like, where do clothes take you? I mean, you're gonna wear them and then what? Or then you waste your body because of clothes, literally something that is material. I mean, I don't find that logical.
You have a point. You have a point because you want to look like the other person, and I was speaking on my other video that they're actually seniors that are targeting you new freebies, like the new babies in the school, and they can promise they can come with greener pastures, clothes, flowers, and what it looks like. Yes. Yeah. What looks like greener pastures, like what looks like the future, and they only want to put you to bed. And unfortunately, you get pregnant.
Then what happens?
You drop out. Then it's done.
I mean, where you are from, they are really trusting you. They're having so much hope and faith in you, and then you get there, you disappoint them. You know, it's not just disappointing them, but it's disappointing yourself. It's important to stay focused, you understand? Always remember why you are in that college, why you are in that varsity, because you're not doing it just for yourself. There are people depending on your success, you understand? You are there to change your family's name, you're there to change your life, you understand? You could be the first one to arrive in Pretoria or in Gauteng or at that university, and you are not there for yourself. You are there to represent a generation that is behind you and that is coming completely. And you get there and then you allow the pressures of life, materialistic things to derail you from your purpose. I believe we also need to rethink our life as people, especially as females, because males don't really get caught up in such matters. It's mostly the females. You feel pressured, you're envious, you end up losing yourself, and then you also lose your purpose. So it's important to remain focused to the vision, remain focused and stick to the goal, stick to the plan. Your mother back home is betting on you to make it. So it's not just about you. Yes, you want to have fun, but have limits. Be like, I don't want to say have fun, because I'm just going to be like sending you off. Remain focused. Time to have fun will come. When you're in varsity, it's the time when you literally have to focus on your future. Once you finish, I think then you start saying, okay, fun will come. I don't know what kind of fun people have. Our fun is changed. So I don't know what kind of fun you guys have, but I honestly think that there is a time that fun is required and there's a time that you need to focus. And if you feel like you are struggling with balancing between having fun and your studies, just leave fun and study. I mean, it's not running away. It's not even worth it sometimes. Like, this entertainment that we are seeking for, if it's not helping, if it's distracting you, just let go, just cut it off and focus on the most important thing. And always remember to keep the main thing the main thing.
Keep the main thing the main thing. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this third episode. Luckily, I'll be with Brenda again on the fourth episode, wearing the same clothes, because we really need to unpack and actually make you understand what we are on about. Remember, stay focused. Is it fun or is it staying focused? Now, we'll answer that on the next one. Thank you. Bye.
This episode is proudly sponsored by Matric Holdings. Enjoy.